Hey guys, welcome to the kitchen. It is Monday afternoon after March break, so I'm sure everybody is rip-roaring, ready to go, ready to get back into a week of routine, a week of organization. It's a fresh start. And so we're going to take this week and we're going to start it fresh with a fun stir fry. A little bit of a twist to the typical teriyaki side. We're going to use a new fragrant spice today. We're going to use something called tamarind. And it's an Asian pulp that gets put into a lot of things, and it has a super flavor, a little bit different than what you're used to, but still a really nice, easy flavor for all that will enjoy. It's a really good thing. So we're going to get started with that. Let me tell you what I've got going here, because I did do a little bit of prep ahead of time for ease of video, ease for you. So what I have here is I have some rice noodles. Already cooked, ready to go. Oh, they're starting to stick a little bit. Ready to go. These are about 200 grams. It's about one package you would pick up at the grocery store. It's a really neat alternative to noodles or rice when you want to switch something up. Easy, easy, easy to cook. You just boil up some water, pull the pot off of the heat. You're going to throw in your noodles. You're going to let them cook for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then you're going to strain them and run them under cold water. What does running them under cold water do? It stops the cooking in its tracks. It stops it immediately. So they're not going to get soggy. They're not going to get mushy. They're just going to keep their shape, their texture, and they're going to be fantastic. Rice noodles, awesome. You can use them for anything. We're going to use them today for our stir fry. So I have those ready to jump into my stir fry when it's done. I have about 4 cups of broccoli chopped up here. You can use as much as you think your family will eat. My family loves broccoli. I just keep adding it into their foods and they just keep getting mad, but it works. It's healthy, it's good, it's green, it's good. They'll get it. One day they'll love it. I didn't like broccoli as a kid. I love it now. I have some strip loin cut up into strips, just like this. Easy peasy. If you have a flank steak, if you have anything else, you can use that as well. Depends on what you have on hand. If you want to use chicken, hey, throw it in there. It's okay. I have 1 onion cut up. 1 medium yellow onion cut up into strips. Wow, that's a nice glare there, eh? White on white. White is really hard for glares. Well, you get what I mean anyway. And I have some sriracha, some honey, some of our tamarind, and something called fish sauce, which I did not open. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a problem. We'll have to get there for that. This is something that you'll use. You won't use it very frequently. It's extremely flavorful. It's extremely cheap to pick up in the grocery store. You'll find it in like the exotic food section. But a lot of Asian recipes will call for it, and it adds a really, really nice flavor. Throw that out. I also have some sesame seeds here, which had I done a little more prep, I think I might have toasted them now that I'm thinking about it. But whether they're toasted or not toasted, they're always a good add-in to some food. And I have 1 lime. And I'm going to need my juice press for that, which I forgot to grab, that we're going to juice at some point, and 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And I have a red pepper here. I think that pretty much describes everything. I have some things in here which I'll show you shortly, but we'll get started on that. I will write down everything I use below, but just to get you going, that's kind of where we're at. We're going to start with the meat. So everybody likes stir fry, right? You always like the stir fry that comes maybe in the Chinese food package or the one you get at the restaurant where the meat is kind of silky tasting. Well, we're going to mimic that. We're going to be able to replicate that. So I have 1 egg yolk, 3 garlic cloves minced, and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch in this bowl. Okay, I'm just going to whisk it together. And then I'm going to throw the meat in. Get as much out of the whisk as I can. It's not a lot in here, but I'm going to throw the whole thing in. Just like that. And then we're going to do a little shake and bake here. I'm going to put my lid on my mixing bowl. It secures really nice and tightly. And then I'm just going to shake it. We want to try to get, I don't know if this will work or not. We'll probably have to do some interventions. Meat might stick together. I personally have not done this exact portion before. I'm very excited to see how it comes out. Oh, it's done okay. This is what it looks like as of right now. Okay, the meat's in there. I'm just going to stir it around, make sure it's all evenly distributed a little bit. Seems to be, like it looks a little clumpy, it looks, I'm not sure, we'll see how it works out. It won't hurt anything, that's for sure. So it's not going to leave a taste in your food. It's not going to do anything that's negative to our meal. It can only improve it or leave it as it is. So we have that. Okay. What are we going to do next? We are going to start the heating of the skillet. So I'm going to turn on my, could have probably done this while I was doing that. We're going to let that heat up. I'm actually going to move those off just to give us a little more room. We're going to heat that up. My 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I'm using vegetable oil today. We're actually going to make another sauce as well that's going to include our fish oil, our sriracha, and our honey. We're going to use some tablespoons, which I was pretty sure, yep, I did. Tablespoons I had grabbed. We need a tablespoon or 4 teaspoons, so a tablespoon and a teaspoon, because 1 tablespoon is 3 teaspoons. There's a little trivia for you. And honey is such a yucky little thing. It's hard to get it all out of the measuring device. So we're going to do 4 teaspoons or 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon, which I had. Oh yes, it did fall into here. Of honey. Now we're done with the honey. We are going to add 1 teaspoon of sriracha, which again, you have to know your family. I'm going to kind of do a very, very light teaspoon of sriracha because my house can't taste any spice. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the fish sauce. Which is going to come out very slowly on us. There's roughly 2 tablespoons. So we're just going to leave that together. Those are mixed up, and we're just going to, I'm going to whisk it a little bit because the honey is right at the bottom. That into there. That's not going to sit. Okay, this can go in here. We're going to let that just sit for a bit. First, we're going to throw our meat in here. Our skillet must be nice and good right now. We're going to let that start going. The meat will cook fast because it's thinly sliced, and it's going to go really, really well. The hotter the skillet, which it's on pretty high, the quicker it'll cook. You just got to make sure that you don't burn it, which if you're standing here isn't going to happen. Pretty cool. I have a piece of meat stuck in my tongs. How funny is that? So, fresh start after March break, right? Everybody wants to get off on the right foot. Did you do your meal planning today? Anyone? Did you do it yesterday maybe? Maybe you were really organized and you sat down on a Sunday night right before the end of March break and you did all your meal planning and your grocery shopping, and today you're like, wow, Danielle, this is a really good recipe that I'm going to add to my meal plan for next week, but I already have my meal planning for tonight, so I don't need to make sure that this one gets on my, I don't need to make this one tonight. If you didn't quite do that, that's okay. Take this recipe, throw it on your meal plan for tomorrow night, and finish it off with the rest of the week. Just pick your 3 dinners, start with dinners, pick those 3 dinners, and say, these are the ones I'm going to make this week. This is what we're going to do. Here's the ingredients that I need. Write them all out for each recipe. Go shopping in your own fridge and your pantry before you even go to the grocery store. Check off those items you don't need to purchase, and then whatever's left is your grocery list. You'd feel on top of the world for 1 week. I challenge you, 1 week to do a meal planning schedule. And I want to know how you feel about it, because I think that you will do it every single week And you can recycle weeks. You may not want to recycle the same week after week after week after week, but what if you sat down and did 3 different weeks or 4 different weeks? Make yourself a month plan. You know, a 30 days or 31 days of meals, and you rocked it. So now you've got a meal plan that you recycle every month. And you'll adjust it. You'll find that this, you know, maybe this week something's on sale and you want to do your pork tenderloin on week 2 instead of week 3. All these things are all flexible and make life very easy. But if it's already there and ready for you, you don't have to think. And what's easier than not thinking and just working? And now you're coming, you've got a stir fry, you've got a lasagna night, you've got a salad night, you've got a soup, you've got all kinds of wonderful meals all planned, ready to go without ever having to worry about it. Maybe you have one night on there where you try a new recipe each night. So it's a blank night. And on a Monday you pick the recipe and you throw the ingredients on your list. Super simple, super easy. All right, so we got our meat going pretty good here. It's almost nicely cooked. The cornstarch and egg yolk is leaving a nice sauce at the bottom of the pan. Actually, I should show you this. This looks pretty cool. Can you see that? I don't know how well. It's really, really giving like a saucy look to it. It's quite nice. You can probably see it from the camera. I have to work on my camera angles. I need a camera right here somehow. I'll have to figure that out. I need an amateur cameraman to help out. Okay, so our meat's doing quite well. So what we're going to do with that is I'm going to remove the meat and put it in this bowl, which is why I had this bowl here. And then we're going to stir up everything else, and we're done. We're just about done. We've got to get our onions cooking and our broccoli. We never want to cook the broccoli too much anyway, because we want that to be still chewy and crispy. Mushy broccoli doesn't go over very well with anybody, kids especially. So we're going to throw our onions in. And I'm going to wait a second before I put the broccoli in. We could put the peppers in though. That'll give a nice... It won't take very long at all, like 3 minutes tops. And then you're going to have a stir fry ready to go. Cool thing about cutting a red pepper or any pepper, right? You're going to slice your pepper close to the stem. Pull this part off. You've got the whole pepper ready to go. Then you're able to just pull this stem right out, and you get the minimal amount of waste possible. Now you can use these pieces and throw them into your recipe. Little kitchen hacks here all the time. All right, we're off to the races here. And there's garlic. I can start smelling the garlic. So we put the garlic in with the sauce, and it is amazing. Ooh, I've got a few pieces of onion wrapper part that doesn't really like to do anything. All right, so where does our lime come into play here? I can't remember where the lime comes in. Oh, the lime goes into our juice. I forgot. Half of a lime, about a teaspoon of juice. There. There's our sauce. I'm going to throw that in. I have tamarind here. I have this wonderful neighbor who lives next door that prepares tamarind for me. And it's a pulp. And all you need is warm water to bring the pulp into a liquid form. And then you will, and then you can blend it down or puree it. And it becomes a sauce. And it has a wonderful, wonderful smell to it. And we're just going to use a 1/4 cup of that. We're going to throw that in. The broccoli. All of it. And the meat. So now we've got our stir fry in here doing very well. Give our broccoli a minute to steam up a little bit. In fact, I'm going to shut this. And then all we do is we add the noodles and we're done. You're going to serve it right after that. So it's a wonderful, quick stir fry. It has a very different flavor to it, a tamarind flavor, which I implore you to try because it is different than your teriyaki. Still easy, easy on the palate. All kids will like it, but just a slight difference to the teriyaki. So we're going to steam this for a minute. I'm going to throw the noodles in, toss it in with the sauce, and I'm ready to serve. That's our dinner today. A little more complicated than normal maybe, but still a nice alternative to an everyday meal. So next time you're in the kitchen, check on over here, see what we've got cooking, and maybe you can do it in your kitchen too. All right? We'll talk to you later. Have a great night, everybody.